For the first time in 22 years, we can now officially call Arsenal the champions of the Premier League. After 3 consecutive years of second-place finishes, the Gunners have now finally been able to get over the line and get their hands on that shiny trophy, and they even did it with a game to spare too. At different points in the season, it felt like they were going to slip up again and the old patterns would repeat themselves, but they completed the job this time around. What made this season so different? How were they able to get over the line against all odds in this campaign? What did they do differently this time around? We'll be answering these questions and more in this video today. This is why Arsenal did not bottle the Premier League this time. One big reason was that they were unapologetically pragmatic this season. You see, in the 2022-23 season, Arsenal played some really beautiful free-flowing football. It was entertaining and aesthetically pleasing, but it often left them exposed at the back and it cost them that season. Since then, Arteta has been slowly evolving the tactic, and that has brought them to the point where they find themselves now. The Arsenal team right now does not care so much about entertaining. What they care about is winning. Keep a tight defense, get 1 goal from a set piece or anywhere else, and see out the game. It's little wonder the most common scoreline in the Premier League this season was an Arsenal 1-0 win. The team prioritised winning over anything else, and it paid off. Rivals and pundits might say all sorts about their set-piece routines, long throws, time wasting, scrappy goals, employment of the dark arts and all of that, but the truth is that it has all paid off now and the pressure and anxiety is finally off them. This pragmatic state of mind helped them approach games with a safety-first mentality, which meant that they were hardly ever exposed, and as such didn't drop too many unnecessary points. And you know what else helped? The fact that the squad was also just much better than it had ever been. Big reinforcements were made in the summer, so Arsenal came into this season with a better squad than most of the teams in Europe. They had a really deep squad, which made it possible for them to still put out a very strong team while rotating or when some key players were out injured. In previous seasons, extended injuries to players like Saka, Havertz, Timber and Odegaard would have spelt the end of the season for Arsenal. I mean, we saw this exact thing play out last season. But this time around they signed Noni Madueke, Victor Gyökeres, Christian Mosquera and Eberechi Eze in the summer, and these guys were able to fill in for the absent first-team players and still keep the levels high. It also made them less reliant on certain players. For years, Arsenal's tactic going forward had been give it to Saka and pray, and while he's a top player who can always create something out of anything at all, an over-dependence on one player is very risky, as we have seen so many times in the sport. Well, this season, Arsenal made sure that they weren't too dependent on 1 or 2 players, and that really helped them. It's a known fact that in order to compete at the highest level, especially in a league as tough as the Premier League, squad depth and quality is very important, and Arsenal nailed it with their transfers last summer, and you can say that they are reaping the benefits of that. The next reason is rather psychological, but we think it had a huge effect as well. Arsenal came into this season with a chip on their shoulder, and we believe that that propelled them to do whatever it took to conquer the league this time. Many Arsenal fans and players felt like they were treated unfairly by officials in the last couple seasons. They also got disrespected by rival fans and even some parts of the media for always bottling. So the team didn't just want to win just for the sake of it, they also wanted to shut the haters up, and you can see it in the celebrations. Saka referenced how people had been laughing at them for 22 years. Lewis Skelly talked about how people always called them bottlers. It's clear that this had always been on the minds of the players and perhaps also the staff. So they came into this season with a clear determination to put all of that to bed. And because of this, no team was as hungry as them.
Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Goal 90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. The deal runs only until the end of May. Goal 90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Goal 90 Shop.
On top of all, they also saw all their rivals win trophies within the last 2 years, while they won nothing. Chelsea won the Club World Cup last year, United won the FA Cup in 2024, Liverpool won the Premier League last year, City won the Premier League in 2024, and even won the EFL Cup on their heads this year. Spurs, as bad as they had been, broke their trophy drought with the Europa League last year. Heck, Even Newcastle won the EFL Cup last year. Seeing everyone around them taste success while they didn't definitely made them feel some level of frustration, and it surely also intensified the mockery they were getting from rivals. So they used that as fuel to make sure they got their own taste of major silverware and finally put all the banter behind them. There's another massive reason why Arsenal did not bottle the Premier League this season, but Gooners will not like this one. Before we talk about it though, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, now back to the video. Let's face it guys, there was some element of luck behind this Premier League success. Arsenal fans might not like to hear it, but it's the truth. I mean, they have gone the entire season without conceding a penalty or receiving a red card. Yeah, you simply don't achieve a record like that without any luck. I mean, if you actually look back, you can point out a few times when they could have conceded a penalty or received a red card. They could have conceded a penalty for a Gabriel handball against Newcastle, but it wasn't given. The following day, PGMOL came out to apologise to Newcastle, saying it indeed should have been a penalty. They also apologised after the referee failed to give Everton a penalty for a foul from Saliba on Barry. And they apologised once again after the referee and VAR missed a clear foul from Martinelli on Weaver, which should have resulted in a Brighton penalty. They could have also conceded a penalty against Chelsea for Declan Rice's foul on João Pedro and subsequent handball, but it wasn't given. As for red cards, Gabriel alone could have been sent off for his headbutt on Haaland, a second yellow card offence against Brentford, and for an elbow on Voltemade's face. Marino could have been sent off for a second yellow card challenge against Aston Villa, and Havertz probably should have been sent off for his reckless challenge on Ugochukwu against Burnley. And what's interesting is that all these games ended with very tight results in favour of Arsenal. If these calls had been correctly given, it could all have been different. So whether or not Gooners hate to admit it, Arsenal were a bit lucky and favoured this season. But to be fair, to be champions, you always need an element of luck. Liverpool got lucky a lot of times last season, and Man City did the season before that, in both cases often at the expense of Arsenal, so perhaps Arsenal getting lucky was even a bit overdue. And in fact, generally, the league title was just long overdue. When you are consistently in the title race and finish as the runner-up, you're bound to eventually win it. Everyone knew that the 2019-20 season was coming for Liverpool after they came so close the season before. Even Atletico Madrid end up beating Barcelona and Real Madrid to a league title every now and again. Statistically, if you keep coming close, you will eventually win it. So this Premier League victory was surely long overdue for Arsenal. Finally guys, let's just say it as it is. Manchester City bottled this one. There's no reason to make excuses for them here, they simply bottled. Everyone calls them mentality monsters and run-in specialists, but this time they were simply beaten at their own game by a better team. After they beat Arsenal 2-1 at the Etihad, everyone said the league was wrapped up. City would go on and win all of their remaining games and secure the title. They went on to beat Burnley in the following game and climb on top of Arsenal on the table for the first time, and at that point it was his other hands. If they had done their jobs, Arsenal would not be champions right now. But they bottled it against Everton and then against Bournemouth while Arsenal remained perfect. You see, after their loss to City, the Gunners completely locked in, winning their next 4 league games without conceding a single goal. That was enough to make them champions, and you just cannot say they didn't deserve it. Anyway, it is now time to hear from you guys. Are there more reasons you think Arsenal didn't bottle the Premier League this time around? What did they do differently this season? Do you think they can return and successfully defend their title next season? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.